Pickacard. Why are you their guilty pleasure? Here are your options, and I'll see what you're reading. Hi friends, my name is Grisel with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1. You chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. Why are you their guilty pleasure? You are fiery, oppositional, perhaps even feisty. You're a take charge kind of a person, even if you don't think so. You make people forget themselves and their boundaries. So instead of them holding boundaries and saying no, they're more like, yes, please, give me more. You're unpredictable, unconventional. You're incredibly brave. Now, the download on this one was a little bit different. What came to my mind was a video that I saw of Suzanne Somers when she was alive. And she was doing some kind of a thing online where I think she was selling her makeup. I'm not really sure what it was. But basically somebody broke into her home. And her husband, as far as I can tell, was there, like with her during this filming process. And maybe somebody from her security team. I don't really know. But there was at least 2 other people there with her. Now, somebody breaks in and she goes, I think I heard somebody here. And somebody else goes, no, it's just the frog. I thought it was her husband. I could be wrong, though. But then Suzanne Somers turns around. She goes, oh, hi, come here. Who are you? Hi, who are you? And then she tells him, you shouldn't be here. So she has this dialogue with this perfect stranger who invaded her privacy, her home, who could potentially be a lethal threat. Definitely a danger. But she was very brave. She was kind. She was direct. And it was really interesting to me because she actually directed everyone in the room, including the person who broke in. So that energy had me riveted, by the way. Yeah, she had grace, beauty, kindness. With all the badassery, it provided a very compelling persona or compelling energy. You're very mysterious. You could be a little bit militant, or you could be from the military, or you could have some form of tactical training or discipline, or even martial arts, some kind of like jiu-jitsu, that kind of a discipline. Some people actually gymnastic. I feel like this is having more of a broader range of people coming into pile number 1. Some flying, aviary interest. Training, okay. You photograph well and flow between your siren femininity and your I'm going to handle you masculinity. So whether you're male or female doesn't make a difference. We both have each of them in order to be balanced. So your brain is their guilty pleasure. Now, pile number 1. If this is you, or if this sounds like you, then stay tuned for the shuffle where we're going to get a little bit more information about you. Welcome, welcome. If you are new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful, hopeful, or at the very least, something that's really amusing. And for those of you guys that are indeed repeat offenders, thank you guys so much for all of your comments, your love, your support. I really do appreciate it. Pile number 1, why are you their guilty pleasure? You have dreams. And you have harmony. So even before I want to read these cards, I want to share with you really quick, when I was doing the shuffle, it seemed like people, it took a bit to get all the cards out, first of all. And then it was like I had to be really linear and everything had to be balanced and, you know, very detailed. And it seems like people want to be on their best behavior around you. You make them, basically you make their spine snap, okay? I feel like you have this energy about you that it's like, ooh, it's pile number one, you know, oh snap, I'm gonna be on my best. I better be looking good. I better, you know, be speaking the best way possible to gain their attention or their approval, that kind of a vibe. So I feel like that's incredibly in line with the channeling that I got initially. Now, with the dreams and harmony, you could be somebody that, for some reason, I'm guessing, I'm feeling that you can dress very harmoniously, but also that you love harmony. You love beauty and harmony, and they have to go together. But also, pile number one, I definitely feel like you're somebody who has a lot of dreams, and they're incredibly beautiful. So I don't think that if people, like when people get to know you, the reason why you're their guilty pleasure is because you have a lot of beautiful dreams. Like your exterior belies what's on the inside. So people could really, I don't want to say mishandle you or make the wrong assessment of you initially. And I do think it takes a while to get to know you, especially because she's standing within a lot of water. But also, pile number one, I feel like you are their guilty pleasure. And I'm just going to say just the way it sounds. I feel like at nighttime, there's a lot of energy of these people thinking about you, of this one person, whoever it is that you're tuning into. They could have some erotic dreams, to say the least. Okay. Yeah, very beautiful energy. And with all of the flowers right here, I feel like you smell good as well. Before I even got ready for, well, I was getting ready to do this reading, and all of a sudden I felt the need to spray on some perfume. And I've never done that before, like ever, in all of my readings, not personal readings, not for YouTube readings, nothing. So I feel like you're somebody who smells really good. And people just wonder a lot. They daydream, they fantasize, and this and that. Also, you could have something to do with like a great melody, or when people are thinking about you, they tend to channel music or think about music and they identify it as you secretly. And with her looking up, I feel like it's almost like looking at a movie star vibe, almost like movie star, untouchable, unattainable, dream girl, dream guy, fantasy, that kind of a thing. So pile number one, I feel, what I tell ya, I feel unworthy of you. Yeah. So you're the guilty pleasure because it's like in their brain, you are unattainable. Okay. And even if it's somebody that you have been with before, even if it's somebody from the past, I feel like it's been somebody, they feel like you're unattainable because you're not going to put up with flack, with a lot of mess, okay? You're not going to put up with nonsense, but also because you are like the dream girl, dream guy. And I heard the one that got away. So I do feel like you have maybe some suitors from the past or potential suitors or people that would love to take you out, that kind of a thing, but they feel unworthy. And maybe it has to do with like your level of elevation, your ability to have luxury or your self-expression or your grand mystery. But whatever it is, I feel like people hold back from approaching you in real life. They would rather have you as a fantasy. Interesting. Pile number one, time apart. What I tell you, time apart, a time of separation. So this could be that you are indeed separated from someone, or it's been like a long time that, you know, they've been broken up. You've been going through your own life, that kind of a thing. But I look at her eyes, it seems like she's been crying or wants to cry, that kind of a thing. And this person is just moving on or leaving the area. And the thing is that I get is that people feel like sometimes they can't match up to your standards. But I also feel like the people that get to know you would really understand that your standards are not exactly what they would think they are. So there's a lot of projecting here, a lot of assumptions, and you know what they say, if you assume things, right, you make an ASS out of me and you, that kind of a thing. So pile number one, you have let go of the past. Yeah, I feel like people have a hard time letting go of you, and even potentially you might even feel there. I just had my own hair here. I'll tell you about that in a second. But the gloves came off. So clear your energy to allow more love into your life. Okay. It's supposed to say love, but it says Louvre. Louvre. So maybe perhaps this talks about like, yeah, old suitors that want to come back and things like that, or they still think and fantasize about you, or you are the guy that got away, the girl that got away, that kind of a thing. And pile number one, I feel like the gloves came off. So, and it's her gloves, and it's whether you're in a male situation or a female, it doesn't make a difference to me. I just feel like with you, the gloves came off, the one that would seem more feminine. Okay. So you're their guilty pleasure because they can't get their mind off of you. Even the light is ricocheting off of this guy's forehead right here. So yeah, very interesting to me. What else do we have right here? You could have a very beautiful body. I feel like they want to see your body, that kind of a thing. If they've seen it before, they would like to see it again. I mean, they know the goods. What is going on? What, Empress? What in the Empress Nation is going on here? So pile number one, you are definitely somebody who has really achieved a lot in life, even if you don't feel like it, okay? Keep in mind, these are other people's perspectives, and you are their guilty pleasure, not your own. And therefore, pile number one, I'm going to say that you have been all of the queens, that you have some mad skills, and that you've reached a level of peace, of mastery, of self-mastery, and productivity as well. I'm looking even at the heart right here. And of course, she has a little kitten. So children can be prevalent in this story as well. And maybe you're their guilty pleasure because they want to like fantasize about you being, oh goodness, that's kink. You being their mom, I heard, but what I meant to say was the mom of their children. So it can go either way, and actually it can in fact go both ways, you know. So fit that however you see it, if indeed it fits. So it appears that you're incredibly abundant, at least to these people. You're the guilty pleasure because you've reached a level. I mean, she has a crown. It's full of stars. It's very beautiful. So very surreal. You appear, it seems like a lot of people even think that maybe you are too good to be true, and they want to keep you in this idealized or this platformed or this pedestal energy, because they feel like if they got to know the new you, that they would be sorely disappointed. Almost like they feel like you're putting on this facade. But honestly, I feel like that's not even the case. I just feel like you are feeling yourself, and you're about the good foods and the good family and the good friends, and allowing things to be, and the tangibles. You're not so much about let me just dream about impossibilities and keep it in that little category. So you could attract a lot of people that don't make a lot of moves or a lot of progress in their life, okay? Unfortunately. So, but it doesn't have to be. Let's see what else we have. Eight of Pentacles. Woo! I forgot. This did flip over during the pre-shuffle. I just decided to keep it. So pile number one, you could be somebody who definitely burns a midnight oil, and you are their guilty pleasure because maybe you are witchy or you appear witchy. They learn a lot from you, or they are a little bit intimidated or like scared, excited around you, and that could be a guilty pleasure as well. You know, there's a reason why people go and watch horror movies and jump scare things. So, you know, I'm just going to say that. Now with the smoke right here, I'm going to say that this cat looks like it's almost like it ate the canary, is actually what I heard with that smile. And it seems to me like they perceive you as being all-knowing. For some reason, I'm getting like the high priestess vibes. So you could be a high priestess as well. And right here, also, I feel like you could be connected to World Wide Web, or that is how they're perceiving you, as having a lot of connections. And whereas like their connection to you is broken or it's limited. Now, whether this is, again, somebody who knows you or feels like they can't come forward, that would be up to the individual story. These are not personal readings, so not everything is going to fit and flow. I know that you understand that. Most of you guys do. Pile number one. Before I reveal your flanking cards, if you're liking this kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, don't forget to click that little notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop further videos. So why are Why are you there? Guilty pleasure. Freedom. Yeah, because maybe it appears that you are free. You have a lot of free time. Maybe you have, like, you're an empty nester, or you don't have children, or you didn't, or you have like a nanny and you can take, set times just for yourself. But something about you represents freedom to them. And this can be a little bit like obsessive thinking. It's like, wow, I would have so much freedom if I was with pal number one, or around pal number one, or if I was their bestie, that kind of a thing. Or, and keep in mind, these are perceptions of other people, but a lot of dolphins are like romping around in the water. I'm all, be careful, girl, because they're a little bit grapey. So we got to be careful with these words, but you know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, so with these dreams and this harmony, you are their guilty pleasure, because there seems to be a lot that can go on, that you are like freedom of expression is what I heard, that you have a lot of freedom of expression. Oh, what? I love this card. This is one of my all-time favorites in this deck. Take charge of the situation. And just the way actually I channeled the Suzanne Somers, how somebody, dude, if somebody broke into my house, I would not be that calm cool. I would be like, who are you? Come here. I'd be like all up in their business. This would not go well. Anyways, yeah. But it seems to me that you are definitely somebody who can take charge. Now, I feel like also you are their guilty pleasure, because in these people's minds, or this person's mind, they are thinking about how like you can manhandle or handle them in a certain way that would give them freedom. So these are people that you're attracting, people that are like really kind of tied up in their minds, people that feel like they don't have a lot of freedom, people that feel like everything is structured and they need an outlet, people that are done like making decisions. And we're talking like high power jobs, like we're talking doctors and people that are, is it astrophysics? I don't even know. Or people that work for NASA, or people that are, pilots, or work on airplanes, or, it's people that you would least expect that would be drawn to, people that are like on Forbes 500 list and things like that. So they have a lot of like responsibility, and they feel like they want release. Now you can read into that exactly how you can read into that. I'm thinking about doing something maybe a little bit saucier, but yeah, I don't know if you guys would want that kind of content. I used to do it on my other channel, so I'm not really sure. But anyways, and one moment I want to take to really share with you, I actually forgot, is Otter Spirit. I love Otter Spirit, you guys. They sent me these really cute bracelets, and I'm so grateful for them. But they actually, this is pyrite, and this is, I think, rainbow tourmaline, and they come in this nifty little package. And also with the hair, people can think that you're really witchy, that you do spells, by the way. Okay, rainbow tourmaline, happiness and prosperity easily flow into my life. And this is about balance and about your sacral root. Yeah, interesting. So they come in these beautiful little cases right here. And I love them because you just program them and you keep on wearing them until you feel like, you want to do something different. So they are well made. I haven't broken any yet, and I have several of them. So if you would like your own Otter Spirit bracelet, then use my personal discount code of TOUGH20. That's TOUGH20 all together. And last but not least, pile number 1. I want to go ahead and pull from these pins. I haven't done that in a while. So why are you their guilty pleasure? Why are you their guilty pleasure? That's a lot. There's a lot of reasons, apparently. Yeah, you can see right through people. And the way that you see through people is very, it could be X-rated, right? You could see like what their guilty pleasure is. You could be somebody, yeah. You're their guilty pleasure because you can actually see, and you could be a little bit feral as well, like black cat energy, that kind of a thing. But the fact that you can see right through them, that they can't fool you, is very magnetic, okay? And something about Sagittarius, like maybe you like to travel a lot, maybe you are Sagittarius, maybe you are a Leo, Sag, Aries, doesn't necessarily have to be. You could be some of the water signs as well, signified right in here. Yeah, choose optimism. And it can go either way. So, and just the way that you look at life is very compelling, very attractive. Very, very attractive. And then the piece was actually upside down for just a second there. So something about peace, it's like you have a lot of peace while you rock their peace, let me tell you. Oh gosh, that sounds bad. Anyways, yeah, good vibes. Good vibes. You have overall good vibes. They have great memories with you. Some of these people are definitely from the past. Now, you're their guilty pleasure because they like to like cue in a song, whether it's, I don't care if it's YouTube or whatever. And they like to listen to these songs, this music that reminds them of you. Yeah, definitely hardcore thinking. Ah, fresh boy tears. Let's get in here. Look, friend. Fresh boy tears. So you could be somebody, yeah, who can reduce people to tears. I feel like maybe even sometimes without knowing it or without meaning to, and you can drink that up like a little dessert. That's what people feel. I also feel like you could, I just dropped one. I felt it. Oh, here it is. I feel like you could draw people that really, okay, this is more of the kink community, but like they want to be humiliated. Okay, believe it or not, it is a thing. Believe it or not, a lot of people are into that. They want to be talked down to or other wild stuff. And I'll keep it really PG, but maybe I'll open that up at some point. Use your imagination. Read and understood the whole contract. Listen, pile number one, you're incredibly astute. Ain't nobody putting nothing over on you. And with all these stars, you're like, yep, I read the contract and put the stars on there. And then what? So you know exactly what baggage people come with. You know your own baggage, that kind of a thing. And you know your own limits. And it's a lot of it intimidating. Okay. So yeah, this is a divine protection that you're incredibly protected. And I just heard, you gave good love to me, baby. Oh, and then, yeah, pieces of the puzzle right here. So you have an ability to fit in all the pieces of the puzzle, or they would love for you to be the last piece of the puzzle for them. Here we go. Yeah, you're 2 pieces of the puzzle. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, very, very connected. It's almost like if you open this up like a rubber band, it would be like a 0. And I feel like that would be the Fool card. People want to take steps towards you, but rarely do. Oh, and the friend thing was reversed. I'm getting hair as well. So something about your hair and something about being a friend, but they don't necessarily want to be a friend because it flips. So you could have a lot of people in your energy that you are their guilty pleasure simply because like you're friends or you're connected in some way, like professionally even, and that is not like allowed or it's not appropriate, it's not suitable. And that's why they won't come forward, or it would just be creepy because you're already connected or partnered with somebody, or yeah, they're just a little bit spooked. So this is what I have for you. Let me know what you guys think. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. Why are you their guilty pleasure? You're irreverent. Your energy is bright and unapologetic. My eyes literally widened when I was tapping into your energy. Like that, I don't think that's ever happened actually. So I think that you surprise people. The people, you could have a lot of shock value even without meaning to, even without knowing it. People could be a little bit taken aback and look at you with pure shock and surprise. For some of you, this could be that you shock with words, you shock with attitude, you shock with your resoluteness. That's interesting. Also, tapping into your energy. I got that you could be a foodie, or you could be very sensual, indulgent, and defiant. I'm getting a little bit of vibe of like Anna Nicole Smith. Now, with Anna Nicole Smith, she had this relationship with her photographer, and I mean, she was famous for so many different things, and did not have an easy life, but she had a relationship with this photographer, and then, you know, denied it and tried to pass off the child that she birthed. Instead of it being Daniel's, I think that was the dad's name, she tried to pass it off as Ron's. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I remember the names. But anyways, yeah, Ron was this lawyer that was basically tied to her side, and I don't know, I'm not a fan. 10 out of 10, not a fan, but that's my opinion. So I just feel like he really didn't take care of her. He just watched her decline and didn't do anything about it, and even recorded some of it. And I was horrified. But anyways, I feel like, she had this scandalous or smoky, relationship with this photographer that was younger than her, and denied it, and this whole drama happened. So it could be something about you that you're their guilty pleasure. Maybe this is connected to somebody that's younger and you're older, or vice versa. There could be some form of like an age gap there, or some kind of a separation of, okay, you're different religions, or family would not approve, or you are not somebody, I'm getting like non-approval. You're not somebody that would be approved of by their friends or family. Now, interestingly enough, also, I'm getting a little bit of this, just maybe even like aesthetically, you're not the prototype of what that person would go for, which is even more intriguing because you are the guilty pleasure. It's almost like this rose being trapped in this lantern, right? It's got nowhere to go, but it's magnetic, it's compelling, and it's like, I want to contain you, I want to protect you, but it's all mine, that kind of a thing. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Also, why are you their guilty pleasure? Pile number 2 is, I got the Hedy Lamarr actress. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She was a very old school Hollywood actress, and she did a controversial erotic drama. It was called Ecstasy back in 1933. Way ahead of her day. Anyways, but she was stunning and full of mystery. Now, the caveat to that is, yes, beautiful. Yes, very reclusive. And you could be all of those things as well. But the one thing that really captivated me is her intelligence. Like, when people talk about Hedy Lamarr, the actress, I don't feel like they really talk about how intelligent she was, how she liked to, quote, tinker, how she liked to create things, and she even had a patent. And basically, without her discoveries and her collaboration for these patents, we wouldn't have like GPS or Bluetooth, and I feel like even like Wi-Fi, things like that, that were really indirectly connected to her because of her frequency hopping patents and her ideas. So she was way ahead of the time. She collaborated with the Navy. And so I love that about her. I love all those things about her. And towards, later in life, she did become a recluse, very reclusive. And apparently she got, I don't know, addicted on some pills and things like that. And she was just withdrew from society. But I feel like people just wanted to get to really know her. And she didn't have a very big circle, and it is what it is. So this could really describe you, or describes like how people feel about you, and not necessarily about the pill popping thing, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background on her. Now, if you guys know me at all, if you've been on this channel, I've shared very openly about my own struggle. So it is not a slam. I've had my own issues with rugs and things like that. So I'm just going to say like that. I'm not trying to be flagged by the algorithm either right here. So if this sounds intriguing, interesting, or, even if it sounds like a hot mess and you're like, tell me more, then stay tuned. We're going to find out more information during the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so grateful to have you here. I hope that you find something that's helpful, hopeful, or at the very least something that's amusing. And for those of you guys that are indeed repeat offenders, thank you guys so much for your love, your support, your comments. I'm so grateful. So pile number 2, why are you their guilty pleasure? You have nature. And you have centering. Wow. These images are so incredibly beautiful. Pile number 2. The one thing that I forgot to tell you is, you chose the image with the lips and she's almost about to bite that star. And I feel like you're their guilty pleasure also, because you're almost like definitely irreverent. Like, who's going to bite a star, right? You think of a movie star. Who's going to bite Nicole Smith? Not now, but back in the day, or Hedy Lamarr, the actress, or, you know, it seems like you're going to take a bite out of things, out of the image. And you're like, even if you're somebody that you're so very down to earth that if somebody elevates you or tries to, or if you get wind of that, I feel like you intuitively know that people do. By the way, people do pedestal you. I feel like you are very movie star-ish in your mannerisms, in your way of thinking, and the way that you rent space for free in people's hearts and heads. But I feel like you bring it right down to earth and you're like, I'm just going to bite that star, because you realize that nobody can stand on a platform that's elevated like that for long. That it is just a recipe for being toppled over, or a recipe for being a bone of contention. People want to come for you for rivalry, for, you know, they want to be like the top spot or the big star or whatever. And so I think that you kind of, once people get to know you, people really understand that you are actually very earthy and down to earth, and things like that don't go to your head. But because you're so reclusive, it could be difficult to get to know you quite a bit. Anyways, so what are you their guilty pleasure? Yeah, they fantasize about this. I'm looking at her beautiful tummy right here. Maybe, excuse me, you could have a tummy. Maybe you are just like rocking your body and you make no apologies for it, that kind of a thing, especially, excuse me, when it comes to a society that we're just, one moment. I'm all one moment, please. I had a cough. So you could be, you know, I mean, we're so visually oriented. We're visually fed. We're constantly fed that, you know, we're not good enough, and you need to buy this to glow up, and you need to buy that to glow up, and you need to be this and that. And so it's never ending, really. And if we think about it, all of that is led by like media, television, propaganda, and then we generationally hand it to our children. Nope, you gained 5 pounds. Let's just hit the gym. Let's, you know, and things like that. So whether pro or con or whatever, I feel like there's just an earthiness about you that really understands and communes with nature. And I feel like you're very gentle. Your energy is very beckoning as well. Like before people know it, they're in your web. That's one thing that I'm feeling for sure. And that is why you are their guilty pleasure. But also that, yeah, just like Hedy Lamarr, that you are incredibly astute and very, very fluent in energy. Okay, so you understand that everything, every dynamic in a relationship, whatever it is, what situationship, relationship, whether it's your job or whatever, that you have to be centered and grounded in nature, because everything is energetic exchange. And you can only choose like the frequency that you are on for yourself. Everybody has to, like, you know, they choose it for themselves. You can't change other people's frequencies. And I feel like this is an incredible point of attraction that a lot of people get magnetized towards you that don't understand you and wind up learning a lot, actually. Interesting. Okay, so pile number 2, with the centering right here, you know, like a bullseye, you have an idea of what's important, and you pursue those things, and you pursue being grounded, and you pursue being intelligent, just like the actress did. You know, she pursued, yeah, she did Hollywood things, but it wasn't the only thing. And her passion, I think one of her husbands, I think she was married a couple of times. I saw a movie on her ages ago, but anyways, just allowed her, you know, the freedom to be able to, quote, tinker and work on her projects and her patents and her ideas and things like that. So you're their guilty pleasure, because I feel like in some way, somehow, they could also really want to provide that space for you so that you could do your thing. You could shine, you could rise, and you could be the star that you are without the hindrance and the hamperings of being in like the 3D world, right? Having a real job and having to make dinner and doing the dishes. It's like, I feel like a lot of people have that fantasy, almost like a romantical fantasy towards you as well. People fall in love with your brain, that is for sure. Pile number 2, one taste is all it, well, one taste is all it took. That's what I got. So pile number 2, maybe perhaps you could have like kissed this person, or you could have been in some kind of relationship situationship, or this could be one taste of your energy is all it took and they were automatically smitten. I'm getting a loud ringing also in my right ear. So this could be people talking about you as well. So let's see what else we have right here. Pile number 2, why are you their guilty pleasure? It's like once they get like, you could have a lot of like stalkers, okay? And I don't think that that's like a fun thing at all, personally. I don't think it's a great vibe. I don't think it's a good look, but I do feel like you're well aware of that. I feel like people want to look at you from afar, like especially with like not both eyes are exposed, just one, and they want to really gain a perspective on you or an advantage. A lot of people actually do want to gain advantage over you, and almost like you won't see them coming kind of a thing. So I don't like that energy, but I feel like their guilty pleasure is like stalking and checking out what it is that you're doing. What are you creating? What are you doing with your life? What are you enjoying? Do you have flowers? What kind of flowers are they? What kind of flowers do you like? How do you smell? I mean, all the details. And for this pile number 2, I definitely feel like you have both male and female stalkers, unfortunately. So I'm going to keep it pushing because we're not here for the negativity here. Why are you there? Guilty pleasure. What is this? Recovering. Yeah, so maybe perhaps, even as I shared during the download that, where is it? Well, anyways, that, oh no. I've had, issues with like rugs and things like that. And so I put myself through rehab several times. It's no secret. And I just did it, not court mandated, but I did it because I want to better myself, that kind of a thing. And so, yeah, I feel like people get really drawn to that. And they know that you are recovering, that a lot of people realize about you that you have laid things to rest, or that you've taken a step back from things, or that you are now more about moderation. And they don't really know. They don't really understand. So they want to know more about that part of your life. Nosy, huh? So... why are you there? Guilty pleasure. Now, before I reveal these 2 flanking cards, if you're indeed liking these kind of readings, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, pile number 2, don't forget to click that little notification bell where you can be notified when I drop further readings. Soulmate. Very nice. So even non-romantic partners could be soulmates, by the way, but you have found your romantic counterpart. As I'm like romantic and non. People feel a very big kinship with you. They feel drawn to you. They feel compelled. You have all the black cat energy of the room. Now, pile number 2, I definitely feel like also people are so drawn to you that they can inadvertently cross your boundaries. They could wind up being nosy Nellies. They could wind up on the side of you that they weren't expecting, just simply because they're curious or they're inquisitive or they want to get to know you and things like that. And maybe, they're wanting to get so many details that you're like suspicious and you're guarded and you're kind of like, that's my energy and that's for me to know. And when the time's right, if it ever is, then for you to find out, that kind of a thing. So I feel like you have an incredible sense of autonomy. A lot of great boundaries are in place. And I feel like the reason why you are very guarded and very boundary driven is because your boundaries have been crossed many times because of this energy, by the way. Unexpected connection. Yeah. So I feel like when you, opposites attract. Okay. That's it. That's exactly it. I feel like you're the taboo. You are the taboo. I'm all taboo. Who? You're the one that people don't want to talk about or don't want to admit to for so many different reasons. Maybe you've given your back to them, that kind of a thing. But there is an active obsession. I'm hearing impending obsessions, like all over the place. Anyways, you can withdraw. You can actually be a homebody. Or you could just simply be very selective about whom you give your energy to. And you're their guilty pleasure because when there is a pile number 2 side, then pile number 2 made it to the party. What do you mean they only came for an hour? And you're like, yep, that's our MO. Or pile number 2 actually graced us with their presence. Or, and I don't feel like you think that way, by the way. I feel like if you're anything like that actress, you could be just having a lot of things going on. You could be studying. You could be in school. You could be creating. You could be, minding your own business. I don't know. But I don't think that people often see you around town for the length of time that they would really want to. Okay. You're very mysterious and you have a lot of depth. So the fact that you are so different and also so different from the people that you are attracting, that makes you even more magnetic. 808 on camera right now. Okay, Kanye, yoga. Yoga, yeah. So you could be very zen, very into like aligning your chakras. You could have angelic energy as well. Your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercise. So maybe this is simply a message to you that your life would be better off with doing a little like flow or yoga or like gentle exercises to help you to regain your balance and things like that. Maybe you are a yoga instructor, or you're taking courses, or you practice at home, whatever the thing is. It is very compelling, beautiful. People love your long limbs. Even if you are short, you could have very like lengthy legs or lengthy arms that people really admire about you. So let's see what else we have here. We're going to go in with, let's just do these. Show me what I need to see for pile number 2. Okay. We're not getting all those. The whole deck slipped and slid on the flow. I feel like people fall for you easily, but here's the caveat to that. I feel like people fall for you, but they don't know you. So therefore they're falling for like an illusion or an image or some kind of an idea that they have like doctored up. And it's not 100% you, okay? How could they fall for you if they don't know you? Anyways, real feelings. You share true romantic feelings worthy of exploring. Yeah. Something about like people, you're the guilty pleasure, something about your hair, your ability to magnetize. She's pulling back and he's like leaning all in. He's like, I'm all in. And she's like, well, maybe let's see how this goes. That kind of a thing. And that energy is very erotic to people. For some reason, the more that you like protest or lean back, they're more like, hey, I'm here in your space. That kind of a thing. So you could have experienced that as well. What? Did you friend zone people? Do you friend zone people? Like a passion is companionship. She has RBF face, but check out her really pretty bracelet. You could have beautiful jewelry, beautiful bracelets. You could have these like, I know this is like vintage, but these almost remind me of LED lights. Anyways, you have people that want to pocket watch you as well, as hands all in his pocket. Many meanings from that. But yeah, you I feel like have friend zoned a lot of people and they don't like it. And why are you the guilty pleasure? It's like, again, because you're unattainable. And to me, it seems really kind of silly. It's like, well, I can't have it, so I want it. Okay, child, you know. So this could be a lot of people that are not quite as evolved or elevated, or the thinking is a little like fragmented, or they're simply giving into their senses. And it's a sensual thing, and they're not really thinking beyond that. A lot of different things are going on here. And I'm being let, yeah, it's like you're analytical. You're going to analyze the hell out of things, and that really makes people squirm, by the way. Pile number 2, love languages, affirmations. Loving words hold great power. And I've shared on this channel before, but you guys know that words are so powerful. So we got to be careful, including myself. I'm always working on this, working on like how I speak about myself, how I speak about others or to others, and so on. Things like that hold a lot of merit on your trajectory and where you want to head and how you want to do things. But yeah, I feel like also people want you to like look up to them. They hold you in such high self-esteem that they want to be held in the same esteem that you hold them. Now, before I forget, pile number 2, did I share about Otter Spirit? Oh my gosh, my brain. Anyways, Otter Spirit sent me these beautiful bracelets, and I just wanted to share because they come in these really cool, well-formed cases. And it also gives you a little card right here that you can actually utilize to be like your intention. Happiness and positivity easily flow into my life. Yeah. So this is about the sacral chakra and the root chakra, and it really serves to balance those things out. It tells you what zodiac it's affiliated with, how to take care of them. And it also donates to cute little otters, and not only them, but their environment as well. So I love that. If you would like bracelets like these, and they are actually very durable because I'm hard on my jewelry and I've not broken any yet, knock on wood. You can use my personal discount of Toughdolltarot. Sorry, I always say that. It is not that. My personal discount code, rewind, is Tough20. So Tough20 will give you a cool 20% discount on these products. Moving on. Pile number 2. Let's pull some of these for you. We're going to do the music box. and see what the music box has to say about why are you their guilty pleasure. I should link this to the reading as well. Pile number 2. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. You're always glowing up, showing up, improving. It seems like fate has a lot of ideas in store for you. And because of the black cat, you have a lot of mysterious energy. You could actually move like a black cat, or like a very agile, very smooth, very fluid. I'm just picturing somebody gets complimented on the way they walk and things like that. But with the Wheel of Fortune, I definitely feel like I heard affluence. Yeah. So you're their guilty pleasure because they feel like you would help them to elevate in society. Like for some reason, their socioeconomic status would be elevated, at least in their minds. And I don't like that, but here we are. But also, like, you would be great arm candy, even if you're a guy. Okay, you're like, I'm with pile number 2, and look at his pecs, and look at his, you know, hair, and look at how he just, like, looks at me and doesn't look at anyone else, and that kind of a thing. Now, some of you, you're their guilty pleasure because they feel like you could dominate them, and they like that, by the way. Yep. So the Empress right here, and that was a vibe. So when I pulled that, I thought it was the Empress because you've been all the queens, or all, you know, all the energy, the feminine energy of abundance. It's like you welcome abundance. You don't have to chase for it. I feel like you work for it. You could be motivated towards it. I feel like you speak towards it. You could be someone like myself. I speak to my water and then I drink it. Or I speak to my tea and then I drink it. I program it because why not? And, you know, words have a lot of power and water has a lot of memory. So moving on, pile number 2. I love this pen. I love this pen. This is like Teresa at that one show where she like flipped the table where they were all having dinner, and she flipped the table and caused a huge ruckus. And anyways, yeah, so she, I think, and her hubby did time. I'm not sure. But I love that attitude. So maybe people know that you are feisty and you can get frustrated, or you have like some kind of a thing where you're like, when you're done, you're done. Don't cross me, that kind of a thing. And people love that about you because it's feisty and it's dangerous and it's exciting. So yeah, Am I okay? Now, palette number 2, I definitely feel like you are the guilty pleasure also because they rely upon you some way, somehow to make sure that they are okay. Like maybe there's a self-confidence there that they haven't acknowledged, and they want like your confidence. They want you to tell them, hey, you know, you're okay, and this is why. And I feel like maybe you could be somebody who gasses up people quite a bit. You help people with their self-esteem, but you're very direct and you're very real about it. And I feel like a lot of people love this about you. And that's why you're their guilty pleasure. Look, the stars with the little beaker and the stars. How cute is that? We're going to get all up in there. Yeah. So it seems like you're like comfortable in your own skin. And look at the exclamation mark. I've never noticed that before. So I feel like people want to take a measured movement forward, and they want to learn like the tricks of the trade, or they want to learn like how to move like a star like you, or how to embody that confidence, or how to just be content in the skin that you're in. So it's very beautiful, and there's like little stars beneath. So yeah, how do you get to be top dog? How do you get to be the one that everybody looks at? Oh my gosh, how do you get to be number 1, right? How do you get to be the one that everybody seems to be going after? And look, more abundance right here. Now, funny story, and I know we're up on time, but here, funny story about this is that this little gem I got through one of my jobs. It was an optical job, and somebody who had, I feel like a meth habit or something, left this little bag of things, and it looked kind of witchy. And of course, my coworkers, I think it was even my boss, walked it up to me, and he's like, Grisel, what is this? It was so wild. But I pulled this out of there because it was so fascinating. And I just love, yeah, this is about abundance and about the scales. And I feel like you help people to really understand that we all have scales in our eyes, and that we need to, in order to obtain abundance, there's need to be fluid, not to be rigid. Fish are, you know, very fluid. They're moving about. They're constantly moving. They're not like resting. And I feel like that is how your brain is. And that's why you are the guilty pleasure, even the moves that you make in life. And then also I had love right here, but it was reversed. I'm taking it as a reversal. And I feel like you are the guilty pleasure because maybe perhaps you refuse to extend love to people easily. They have to like earn it. And I don't mean like, oh, you have to pay your dues before I can love you. I feel like they need to come out of this energetically. They need to achieve an energetic alignment in order to be with you, in order to be considered, in order to go on a date, in order to have a great conversation with you. They need to be vibrationally in a similar alignment as you. Otherwise, it's not going to work because it's like sleuthing and bobbing and weaving and you know, stalking and things like that. Just, I feel like that is not going to work for you. And people know that. People intuitively feel that, and that's why they feel less than. They feel less than you. So anyways, let me know what you think. Much, much love to you. This was super fun to do. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3. You chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen. And your downloads go as follows. Why are you their guilty pleasure? The first thing I heard was la tóxica. So stay with me here. The toxic one. You could be super direct. You could also make sounds that are very, very sensual without even knowing it. So you could be like deep in thought and just like, or whatever. I'm not going to demonstrate here because I'm not trying to have that life. But I feel like your mannerisms or maybe even the way you eat is quite sensual. I used to know someone who, when we would go out to eat, he would make these sounds. And I was like, I would literally turn red because I was like, okay, it's not even that good. Stop. You know, I'd be all embarrassed because we're in public arena and this person is enjoying their food way more than they should. So why are you their guilty pleasure? Another example I have is that one time I was in a lot of pain. And so I got in the shower and apparently I was being super vocal because I was in so much pain. That my then husband came running thinking that I was having a really, really good time by myself in the shower. If you know, you know, right? So apparently like what I felt were like even noises of pain. His brain went elsewhere. So there is that. I feel like a lot of people can misconstrue a lot of things that maybe perhaps you do. You're their guilty pleasure because you are luxury. You're like a luxury brand. Someone, oh yeah. You're somebody that, like, for example, you can fondly pet someone on the arm and then give them a sharp smack. I used to have a friend at work and he would allow me, we would, you know, unwrap jobs and things like that. We'd have like a wrist full of rubber bands. And I would ask him like, can I? And he'd be like, yeah. So I would take the rubber band, just snap his wrist. And it was so satisfying to me. But I mean, obviously he liked it too. It's just kind of weird. So I just think that's funny. But you could have some duality about you. Yeah. A love of luxury, some soft flowing feminine, maybe dresses with boots, combat boots, hiking boots, whatever. And then for the men, I feel like you guys are kind of very earthy, very grounded is what I'm feeling. But I'm feeling like earth with a lot of sword energy, like mental agility. So you guys could be somebody who likes the outdoors, who likes to get grounded, likes to be barefoot outside even, or putting your feet in the grass, that kind of a thing. Jeans, no shirt, no shoes, or work pants like professional trousers. And the first thing you do is take off your shoes and your shirt, that kind of a thing. And it's very appealing. I'm just going to say, because in my mind's eye, I was like, dang, pile number 3, who is you? So anyways, we're going to go ahead. Oh yeah. If you like this kind of channeling, if this sounds like you, if it sounds intriguing, stay tuned for more. We're going to go ahead and get more information. Then shuffle and 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. Pile number 3. This is my 3rd time trying to do this little intro. If you're new to my channel, I hope that you find something that's helpful, hopeful, or at the very least amusing. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the super chats, for the donations, all the things. Now, right as I was shuffling, I was channeling more information. Some of you guys do have an accent, and people could talk about your accent quite a bit, or they love it, or they're like, where are you from? That kind of a thing. And I feel like a lot of you guys are living somewhere that's not your native land, wherever that is, wherever you were born. And you could have some kind of an accent to the geographical area that you're affiliated with currently. Why is that so hard to say? I don't know. But anyways, that could be for some of you guys. But I feel like it's very charming, very enchanting. And people love this about you. So I feel like you're their guilty pleasure because you feel spicier. You're like the spice of life. You're like different. You are riveting, or something about the way that you speak is very, very compelling. Now, pile number 3, I also got that some of you guys could like to smoke, maybe, I don't know, clove cigarettes or herb or the devil's lettuce or whatever, or, you know, I don't know. It's not my place to judge anyways. So there could be an element of like when you smoke, people love to watch you. They love to watch your mouth, and they have like ideas about how that goes. Okay. Make no mistake. I feel like you're very riveting against something about your mouth. So we're going to keep it moving here. Pile number 3. Why are you their guilty pleasure centering? So this came out in another pile, but I feel like, okay, I'm seeing the person. Let's get in here. Now I'm seeing the person in here. I don't know if you can see. It's almost like another person in there looking in. So they want to peer into your privacy, okay? I feel like they want to come towards you with flowers. I feel like they're a little bit like curled up within themselves, almost like, I don't know if you would accept me or if you would like me. This could be friendships, situationships. This could be even jobs or people at work and things like that. You are their guilty pleasure because actually for some of you guys, you're the guilty pleasure of gossip. So people love to talk about you. Unfortunately, here we are. So what else do we have? Listening, what I tell you. Yeah, so pile number 3, people could love to listen to you, and look at all the birdies gossiping. What I tell you, I feel like people want to listen. They want to repeat. They want to echo. They want to emulate. They want to imitate all the things. But most of all, they want to come across as like knowing more about you than you know about you, which is quite interesting. And I feel like you could be somebody who's very reserved, very maybe even like withdrawn or pull back on your energy. This looks like a wing to me. So yeah, you could be somebody who like flies away from those situations, or if you hear gossip about other people, it can make you really uncomfortable. I don't like listening to it. But you know, I'm not perfect also. Sometimes I get caught up in it and I'm like, wait, stop, nope, that kind of a thing. So pile number 3, you could have a lot of people that want to like chime in or gossip about you. Now, not all of it is negative, I'm feeling. I just feel like they're like, wow, do you ever go out with pile number 3, or what is that like? What is it dating them? What is it working with them like? What is that like? That kind of a thing. But I feel like you're very self-protective. So your energy is coming across like moth energy to me. And I feel like it's, somebody on YouTube said it was the butterfly of the night. And I kind of like that. Of course I would like that. But anyways, there's something about you that elicits a lot of attention. I feel like it could be with the spoken word. You could be a writer, even a ghost writer, but not necessarily. You could be a singer, songwriter. Anyways, you get the gist. Pile number 3. Why are you their guilty pleasure? What's going on here? You feed me in ways that no one else could. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the way that people feed upon your words. Like you could have some kind of a platform, some kind of a, excuse me, I don't know, something about the way that you talk. And I'm going to have to pause because now I'm coughing. Throat chakra issues here. So yeah, something about like the way that you talk, I feel like could be very compelling and people want to listen. But when it comes to like talking about you, yourself, maybe you're more conservative, or you're more pragmatic, or you're like, well, let me look and see who is, you know, worthy of my time. Now, I just heard the word opponent, and you know, I feel like people could want to oppose you in a lot of ways, and or think that you're a great opponent, or want to fight with you, or want to jockey for attention, or want to arm wrestle you, even if you're doing your own thing. And I feel like you are definitely somebody who stays their own lane. But for whatever reason, I feel like you glean a lot of gossip around, like swirling around you about how like you're being toxic and all these other things, where it's like they don't have any receipts is the problem. The problem is pile number 3, that in order for that to be true, they would have to have receipts. No one has them. It's just pure speculation. I feel like you are far from that, by the way. So yeah, I feel like you decenter people because you are incredibly centered. I also feel like even with that mirror factor right here, it's almost like people want to jump through the mirror and be like, oh, hey, you know, I'm you and you're me, that kind of a thing. So people want to take over like your persona, your ideas, your ideals. You could have had intellectual property stolen from you. You could have had spouses or mates or boyfriends, girlfriends, things like that stolen from you as well, just out of sheer petty competition. So unfortunately, I feel like people around you, instead of looking at the lesson, they look at, okay, I want to compete with you. I'm better than you. And they feel like they want to claw their way into whatever it is that you have or whatever it is that you're doing. Where the real question would be, I'm really uncomfortable around you. Why is that? Well, I feel like you're like all the way up here and well, I can do that too. Well, why is there rivalry in my voice or in my motive or in my heart? What's going on? And continue asking those whys to get down. I mean, this is what I call shadow work. It's all part of shadow work. And you get down to the very basics of what is making you uncomfortable about pile number 3. Okay, now let's deal with it. Is this true? Is it valid? Does it have merit? Or can I adopt some ideas? Or can I do better? Because there's a deficit in their self-esteem somewhere, or in the way that they're projecting themselves, or in the way that they're thinking about themselves. Something is damaged there. And I feel like you're somebody who has a pretty solid foundation or idea about whom you are. And I'm not saying that you think you're all that. Pile number 3, people would say that you think that you are inflated with ego. And I feel like that is so further from the truth. Does she look inflated with ego? I mean, really, kind of use rhyme and reason. Is she out there showboating? Is she out there showing off and, you know, using her voice to be like, listen to me and nobody but me? I don't think so. So this is all projection and I don't like it one bit. But let's see what else is going on around you. Why are you their guilty pleasure? Animals. Yeah. So you could have a way with animals. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are part of your life's work. Now, pile number 3, this could be true. I have one friend who's so connected to animals. I don't think she watches my channel anymore because I don't do the signs, but she's so incredibly in tune that I would just ask her all the questions. Like she would have these conversations with her pets and she'd be like, okay, Goldie, did you do that? Because actually she was my roommate and I would tell on her pets. Like if she was gone for the day and her pets were naughty, I would tell on them. So you could be someone like that you're like the animal whisperer, or something about you downloading information that other people are really shocked that how accurate and astute you are. Because let me tell you, honey, my ex-roommate she was on the money every time. And her animals would like look at her and she'd be like, oh no, is that what it is? Or, I mean, she could have like this dialogue and I feel like she could do it professionally, okay? And they would just look at her and kind of look away, or they would tell on each other without even me saying anything. And it was phenomenal to watch. I love her interaction with that. So you could be someone like that. That is a gift, like a powerful gift, iridescent gift. So if you have that gift, use it. Pile number 3, why are you their guilty pleasure? Because you can read everything about them, that you are privy to that. People think that you're telepathic, that you're a mind reader, that you know exactly where people are coming from or their motives, and you can tell when they're lying. And I'm going to say 90% of the time you can, but the rest is pure speculation and guilty mirroring, like projecting is what it is. Anyways, heart's desires, yeah. Your angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. So pile number 3, you are their guilty pleasure, because I feel like you have like stripped down to nothing, not physically, but you could. And I feel like you've kind of built yourself up. I feel like you have done this before, like reverse engineered your self-esteem if it was really poor. I mean, honestly, like Pile number 3, I felt like I had a really bad self-esteem for many, many years, forever. And I had to really reverse engineer that and really get to the fundamentals. And why is that? Okay. And work on myself and go, well, is that true? No. Well, then why do you feel this way? Are you, so who is the voice inside your head that's stating that you're not any good, or you are, whatever the case is. I don't want to get into that, but I feel like you could be privy to like some psychology, or you could be somebody like myself that has weird interests. I love to study like body language. I also love to study about like do facial readings and things like that. So that to me is all riveting, fascinating, because everything does tell a story. Okay. Anyways, moving on. But I feel like you're very, very astute. I feel like you pursue your heart's desire and you don't really care what other people think about it. It could be like weird. It could be witchy. It could be odd. It could be like, well, why do you like to go fishing so much? And you're like, well, I commune with nature and with the fish. And when you come home, there's never any fish that you bring with you because you're out there going, okay, be free, my friend. I don't know. That's for somebody. But with this heart's desire, I feel like you are people's heart's desire. You're their heart's desire as well, because they want to get into your skin. It's almost like they want to embody you as well. Pile number 3. If you are indeed liking these kind of readings, please do me a favor and like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about my readings. I would really appreciate that. And also don't forget to click that little notification bell. That way you will be notified when I drop further videos. So why are you their guilty pleasure? The 10 of Wands. Are you feisty? Because you can carry a lot? Because you're stronger than you look? Because you work and don't complain? Because maybe you can actually set things on fire, right? Because you do things to help other people keep warm. Now, I'm getting acts of service. Somebody who is very service-oriented, very, what can I do for you? Very clear-minded about how they can serve other people within whatever capacity you can do that in. People love this about you. It's like you're very homey, very reliable, very dependable. If there is a problem in your friend group, you are the one that people are going to come to, okay? You are the one that's going to be like, okay, I'm going to call pile number 3 because I need this handled in a specific way. And I can trust that if they say yes, it's going to be done accordingly. I will never have to second guess. I will never have to double check. It is a done deal when I communicate with pile number 3. And I love this for you. That is definitely like boss energy. Pile number 3 also, you're the guilty pleasure because you've been through a lot and you understand humanity on a whole different level. And I feel like that's why when you, when people come to you with a facade, you're like, you know what? Don't just, you're so shallow, that kind of a thing. And I feel like it kills the vibe for you instantly. And that puts out there almost like a little challenge, or it is almost like meant for a wand to like smack people upside the head for them to wake up kind of a thing. I don't feel like you do this deliberately, but I feel like people go, well, what I say, well, everybody else falls for my charm. Well, I have a great smile. I have beautiful teeth and I have, saucy looks, or, I can, provide these things or whatever, but everything is so shallow. And it's meant to wake them up. It's meant to make them feel insecure, not you personally, but I feel like your frequency is utilized by spirit in order to waken people up. So you could be that big energy that you actually wake people up into like a dark night of the soul, again, for their betterment. I know it sounds kind of complicated, but here we are. Look, pile number 3, I'm gonna look at my card. I'm just kidding. So pile number 3, you have the 3 of Swords. You know pain. No with a K, not N-O. Anyways, but you know pain. You've cried a lot of tears, shed a lot of tears. I feel like people maybe don't really understand, comprehend that about you. Maybe perhaps you've been somebody who's been very private about things, and maybe something about it recently is being brought into the forefront. I'm seeing this as all like a lot of tears. I'm looking at all the clouds like receding in the back, and people are like privy to the fact that you've been through a lot in your life. And I feel like because of that, it's created a lot of depth, a lot of empathy, a lot of sympathy for people as well. But also it's developed your character in a way that you have a lot of stick-to-itiveness, a lot of, I see you, I can see x-ray vision into your soul. And I see that that is not healthy or good for you, friend, when you approach me with the level of shallowness or the charm that you think is going to charm the world, and you think that that's going to get you through life. Why do you think that you continue looking and searching and being unhappy and being inquieto? I'm getting like a restlessness in my soul. I feel like people are drawn to you because they feel restless within their soul, but you see right through it, and it's intimidating as hell, okay? But you are their guilty pleasure because they want to be seen deep down. They want to be seen for everything that they've been through. They want to be able to communicate, go, wow, okay, now that you admitted it, pile number 3, well then I've been through this as well, and I just want to let you know. And like they feel a kinship. Now, pile number 3, I feel like it'd be easy to trauma bond, but I don't feel like that's it either for you. I definitely feel like you have an aerial view of like humanity, of personal growth, of evolution and things like that, and you want that for everyone. So it's not like you're I feel like the only time they get the RBF face or they get the hand, like, don't come any closer, I'm done with this ish, you know, your pretenses, your pretension, and your preening and whatever. I'm picturing a peacock, and you're like, okay, go away with your battle self because I'm not impressed, kind of a thing. And inadvertently, that draws people to you. That draws, yeah, the masses to you. Yeah, you could have a lot of people that want to get into your energy because you don't force people to grow, but you do force people to grow. You force them to elevate, to think about things differently, to wonder what if. And pile number 3, what I love actually about you is that you're somebody that you don't think you have it all down. It's not even like an arrogance. It's a what if. But I feel like intuitively you put one step forward in front of the other, and it could feel like plotting sometimes, but you are always growing. You're always making microscopic changes into what it is, your belief system, incorporating this, eliminating that, refining this, refining that. And you're like, yeah, this is good. Let me focus on something else. So you're not somebody to sit on your laurels and think, okay, good enough. Let's go. I'm a perfect 10. Let's go. I don't think that that's you at all. And it's very compelling because I feel like people understand that without vulnerability and without depth, they will never capture your attention. That's for somebody out here. Anyways, moving on. Why are you the guilty pleasure? Yeah, because you have standards. You have requirements. What? Spirit soul path. That makes perfect sense to me. What does this say? A personal evolution within your relationship. Yeah. So not only do you expect people to really evolve on a personal level individually, even if you're partnered, it doesn't matter to you. What does matter is that they evolve as a person. And I don't feel like you're critical, like, nope, that's not how you do it. Nope, that's not how you do it. It's like, as long as they're doing something and they're asking themselves deep questions like, why do I do this? Why do I feel like I have to be the most charming person out there? Or the one to make all the heads turn. Why do I have to be that person? Okay, well then let me analyze this further. And I feel like also, not only do people around you grow, I heard forcibly, but people within connections with you are forced to grow as well. So maybe you're forced to contend with, by the way. So what is this right here? Bottom of the deck, best friend. Okay. You could be a lot of people's best friend as well. Friendship is vital to romance, to your romance specifically. Feelings deepen and bloom. What? Who's around you that wants to romance you? And see that, I mean, he looks very dapper and she's all nice and dressed up and looking fly, you know, but I feel like he's just trying to, like, you know, whisper sweet nothings in her ear, and she's kind of digesting this. Is like, is this a sweet nothing? Is this real? Is it valid? Or do you just say that to all the gals? Do you say that to all the dames? Because I'm not gonna stand for that kind of a thing. I don't know, but you definitely test words, and you yeah, I feel like workplace romance. Meow. Okay, I feel like yeah, these are gonna be all the cards, plus I have to do your charms real quick. But people at work could really romanticize you. Is that a word, romanticize? I guess I'll look it up later. But yeah, they fantasize about you. They want to be like, it's almost, I'm hearing, I'll be your hero. Be your hero, baby. I don't know. For this one, I got a bunch of songs that kept trying to pop in. And because I don't know the lyrics, I'm like, skip, skip, skip. But a ton of songs you could communicate through music as well, or people can feel inspired when they hear music and think about you. Material attachments, you could be very bougie, be perceived as being bougie. But look, she's like focused on a book. Yeah, she has a nice dress and things like that. But she's really focused on this book. She's almost like giving him side eye. He's giving her the side eye. He's like, hey, do you read this? I don't know what's going on here. Natural evolution. Let the situation unfold naturally. Yeah, you're not one to press or be pressed. Friendly support. Fairies, guides, and friends give aid. So you have a lot of people that want to give you aid, that want to come to your rescue, that want to, I heard, take a risk with you, that kind of a thing. But you're their guilty pleasure because everybody wants you. That's interesting because, again, it's not about you then. It's about competition, is it not? I mean, that's how I see it. But anyways, yeah, it's almost like you could have a map to things, or yeah, they could want to be part of the team when it comes to you. Tease. Oh, they think you're a tease. So how are you the guilty pleasure? Because you are a tease, or you tease them in their thoughts. The energy is fun and lighthearted, but uncertain. What? That's what we've been talking about. Magnetism. Yeah, you have incredible magnetism. There is a gravitational pull to each other. Yeah, and look at all these looky-loos, like through the windows and stuff, and that fairy's like, go for it. But yeah, there's a lot of magic in your connections. When people connect with you, they automatically, like, they feel so compelled that they sometimes mistaken it for romance, even if it's a platonic friendship. Okay. So love language is affirmations. You could love to have, yeah, your love language could be affirmations. Loving words hold great power. Or maybe you're somebody who yeah, listens to how people communicate, and if they communicate in an ugly manner, you're like, I'm out, that's not going to work for me, that kind of a thing. Love language, quality time, be the witness to each other's lives. Yeah, you want to be present in people's lives. And I feel like because you see so thoroughly, so deeply into people, people want to integrate you into their lives in whatever capacity you would allow. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like this is romantic. They want to romance you, but if they can't have that, they will take you as a friend. Real feelings. You share true romantic feelings worthy of exploring. Yeah, people would love to make love to you, that kind of a thing, and reaching out. People want to reach out to you. And a lot of that has to do with, like, because they're riveted on you and you're just kind of focused on something else, or you're focused on some kind of internal dialogue, and they want to take your hand and go, hey, like, really look at me, like, do you see me? That kind of a thing. Not with the exterior sort of, I don't know, their first foot. If somebody approached you with their first foot forward and being like very, oh, I'm charming and I have this and I have that and I can take you places, and I don't know. If they just came at you in a superficial manner, I feel like you're going to not even look at them and not bother. But I feel like this person's like, okay, we're going to do a spin the block. We're going to try this again. Now I want you to look at me and see me for who I am. It's almost like eye to eye and soul to soul, and they want to reach out. So you could have quite a few people like that. Pile number 3. Why are you their guilty pleasure? Music from the box. Let's get some more here. I will link that in the information below. Yeah, so flower power, I feel like people look at you and they get nostalgic, or they see beauty. But then when they find out that there's more that meets the eye, I feel like they're shooketh, okay? Your lungs, the way that you speak. You have this ability of duality, of listening and speaking. And I feel like when they don't listen to what you have to say, they're screwed. Interesting, because the screw going through here. Yeah. What else do we have? I don't know if this translates. We're going to try to get it closer. Look how cute that is. Well, some of you guys don't look at my hands. Be looking at this. What? How cute is that? It won't come in clear. Anyways, yeah, you could be somebody that people definitely fantasize about. You could be perceived as like somebody that they would want to photograph or do pinup pictures with, or maybe look like a pinup, or your haircut is like a pinup, that kind of a thing. My favorite pen. It's one of, okay. Yeah. So your attitude, because it was on this, it could be F this or F off, could be your vibe. And people love that about you. Like, they love that you're the guilty pleasure, because it's like the more that you like push, you're like, well, then F it, you know, then they're like, they want it more. Yeah. People could be trying to monitor your your production, I heard, but your bag as well, your money, your abundance, yeah, and how you turn things into money, and they don't really understand it. And so people, I feel like, get really inspired by that, and you're their guilty pleasure because they're like, well, I want to see how she does it, he does it. And I did see the number 40, so some of you guys could be 40, or 40 can have a special meaning with the number 4. It reduces to 4, right? And I heard solidarity, so maybe that could be something for you there. Also, the number 60, you could be 60 in your 60s somewhere, or the number 6, or June can be important. April could be important as well. I had to count on my fingers because I don't do months like that. I'm like, wait, I know 8 is August. I know 12 is December, 11, November, but some of the other ones, I'm like, wait a minute, let me count them. So yeah, 10. So you could appear like a 10 to a lot of people. I mean, they're just drawn to you. And it's like in their eyes, you are a 10, no matter what you think of yourself. Yeah. And this could be a great mystery to you, but other people see it for sure. It's like you don't show your hand for other people. They don't know what you're up to, that kind of a thing. They don't know how you're feeling about things. It's like you are very introspective and you don't wear your heart on your sleeve per se. They haven't earned that trust. So that is what I have for you. Let me know what you think about this. Until next time, namaste.